Today we'll study about factoring polynomials. So I have four different equations, polynomials here, and then we'll try to factor each one of them, and then we'll try to um, know the techniques that we will use to factor these polynomials. So first, let's try to look at this sample: 12x squared plus 4x. So for this one, the technique that we will use is looking for the greatest common factor. So as you can see, what's the greatest common factor between 12x squared and 4x? So the greatest common factor for 12 and 4 is 4, and for x squared and x is x. Thus, the GCF for the whole polynomial is 4x. So if you try to factor them, we divide 12x squared by 4x and then 4x by 4x. This will result to 4x being outside and then multiplied by 3x plus 1. So this is the resulting factors for 12x squared plus 4x. So we find the greatest common factor. So the next polynomial that we have is a trinomial. So this one has x squared minus 2x minus 8. So as you can see, x squared has numerical part of equal to 1. So this is considered as 1, which is x squared. So for that part, we will have an equation something like this. So x plus a number, x plus a number, since if you multiply x times x, it will result to x squared. So how do we know what numbers to put there? So let's try to look at the third part of the trinomial, which is negative 8. So what are the factors of negative 8? We'll try to look for the factors of negative 8, which are 1 and negative 8, negative 1 and 8, 2 and negative 4, negative 2 and 4. The next step is we look at the second term, which is negative 2x. So among the factors of negative 8, which of them will result to a sum of negative 2? So we'll try to add the factors. So 1 minus 8 is negative 7. Negative 1 plus 8 is 7. 2 plus negative 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2. So when we try to get the sum, we are looking for the negative 2 result. Thus, we will use these factors, the positive 2 and negative 4, because they resulted to the negative 2 value that we're looking at. So we have 2 and negative 4. We just put those values to the blank. Thus, we will have x plus 2, then x minus 4. So this is the resulting factors for this particular trinomial. So let's look at another trinomial sample. So this one is 2x squared minus 13x minus 7. So similar method as the previous trinomial, but this one has 2x squared. So for this one, we have the first term of 2x squared, which can be factored into 2x and x. Okay, and then we'll look for the other parts of this factor. So for this one, we'll look at the factors of negative 7. Sorry, so this one is negative 7. So the factors of negative 7 are negative 1 and 7, 1, and negative 7. So let's try to input each one of them. So for example, we will use negative 1 and 7 for these blanks. So if we use it and we try to substitute it, it's 2x minus 1 and x plus 7. But if we try to check if that is the correct answer by multiplying the resulting factors, the result is 2x squared plus 13x minus 7, which is wrong. That's not equal to the negative 13x minus 7. So let's try to use the second set of factors of negative 7. So for this one, we will try to use 1 and negative 7. So if we try to substitute 1 and negative 7, this one, and then we try to check the values, then we will have the correct result. 2x squared minus 13x minus 7. So basically, what we're playing at here is we're looking at the factors of the first term for a trinomial and the factors of the last term, and then we play around it, or we do trial and error to check if it will result to the second part of the polynomial. Okay, so next one, this is special case, which we have a perfect square. So how do we factor a perfect square? So this one is x squared minus 9. So why do we call it a perfect square? So a perfect square has, for example, this one, x squared. X squared is a perfect square because if you do a square root of x squared, the result will be x. And then for this one, the square root of 9 is 3. Thus, this is the difference of two perfect squares. Okay, so this is called perfect squares. So for this one, we just have to take note of this particular formula, that a squared minus b squared, the factor of this binomial is a plus b and a minus b. So for this particular example, x squared minus 9. So the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 9 is 3. And then we just follow the formula. We use a plus b and a minus b. So x plus 3 and x minus 3. Thus, the result of the factor of this x squared minus 9 is x plus 3 and x minus 3. So those techniques, the usage of GCF, factoring trinomials, and perfect squares, sometimes we just have to play around those techniques in order for us to factor a polynomial. But the first thing that you should check is the GCF, because if it will simplify the equation greatly. Okay, so I hope you understand some principles in doing factoring polynomials. Thank you, and God bless.